my dear students, how are you all? I hope that you are keeping fine and you are enjoying today's time. Well, I am Manika and I am your English teacher for the day. Today we are going to deal with a very interesting topic which is related to English grammar. But before starting today's class, I would like to address one very important question which I keep on getting from the students, which is, ma'am, why do we need to study grammar? Why is grammar so important? So my dear students, please understand this. You need a strong foundation if you wish to build a robust building. Similarly, grammar is the base of English, and the importance of English in today's time is not unknown. So coming back to today's class, the topic for our class is verbs and tenses. I know that many students, they get scared when they hear verbs and tenses. But fear not, we are here for your rescue and we'll make sure that we teach you this topic in the simplest way possible. So are you ready to learn something new today? Let's get started. So first questions first. What do you mean by verbs? What are verbs? Well, if I ask you a simple question, what are you doing right now? You would say, we are studying. Or later when you'll be playing, you'll say, we are playing. So what are you telling? You are telling your action, right? So verbs are nothing but the action words. They describe the action that is being done, right? Okay. The next thing that you need to understand is what are the different types of verbs. Well, there are, if I broadly classify the verbs, there are three different types of verbs. One is the main verb, the other one is the helping verb, and the third one is modals. Okay, I'll give you a simple statement, which is Ram is dancing. Understood? So who is dancing? Ram is dancing. What is Ram doing? Ram is dancing. So what is the verb? What action is Ram performing? Ram is dancing. So dancing becomes your main verb. Understood? So main verb are nothing but the action that is being done. The words which describe those, that is main verb. So in this particular example, dancing becomes your main verb. Clear? The next one is helping verb. So as the name suggests, they help the main verb. Now if I say Ram playing, is it making any sense? The sentence seems incomplete, right? But when I say Ram is playing, it actually delivers some sense. So is, am, are, has, was, were, all these are helping verbs. They are also known as auxiliaries sometime. Okay? The third category is modals. So modals is what? Like will, shall, may, can, could. All these words, they fall under the category of modals. So I told you that they are sometimes referred to as auxiliaries, sometimes modals and helping verbs. They together are called auxiliaries. Clear? So let us move ahead. One more categorization that I would like to tell you. So we are further classifying the main verb. We are subdividing it into two categories. So this is very, very important to understand. So please pay attention to this thing particularly. So what are transitive verbs and what are intransitive verbs? Now let us first discuss transitive verbs. Transitive verbs, so just try to relate it with the word transition. What do you mean by transition? Moving from one state to another, right? So here transitive verbs means when the action, it gets transferred from the subject to the object. Also, you need to pay attention. What do you mean by subject and object? In the lower classes, you must have learned some other definition of subject and object. But please understand that here when we say subject, when we say object, subject means the doer, the one who is performing the action is subject, and the one on whom the action is being performed becomes the object. Clear? Okay. Now, as I told you, transitive means when the action gets transferred from the subject to the object, means it gets transferred from the doer to the receiver. For example, if I say Ram kicks the ball. So in this particular sentence, who is the subject? Ram is the subject, and what is the object? The ball is the object. Ram is performing an action on the ball. The action is being transferred from Ram to the ball. Clear? There is one more way to understand this concept. Now, if I just say Ram kicks, so you would not get the complete sense of the sentence, and you would ask me what or whom. Then I would say Ram kicks the ball. That makes the complete sense. So whenever the verb, it frames a question and it delivers an incomplete sense, those are transitive verbs. Clear? Similarly, intransitive verbs are those where there is no transition happening. Clear? So intransitive verbs, there is no object required. Means even if there is no object, that is okay. For example, if I say the baby laughs. Now the sentence, it delivers the complete sense, and the baby is laughing. The action is not getting transferred from baby to something else or somebody else. So such words are known as intransitive verbs. So having said all these things, I would just like to summarize the difference between transitive and intransitive. Transitive verb, in simple terms, requires a direct object, and intransitive verbs, it does not require a object. Clear? Okay. Now just see the difference between these two words, told and said. So I would just like to tell you one thing here. Told is a transitive verb and said is an intransitive verb. So will you be able to frame a sentence which is grammatically correct, keeping in mind the concept of transitive verb and intransitive verb? Let me help you out here. So since I said told is a transitive verb, which means it requires an object. So if I say I told to get a glass of water, it is grammatically incorrect. Why it is incorrect? Because the receiver is not mentioned, the object is not mentioned. So if I need to frame a correct sentence, I need to place a direct object just after told, which means I told him to get me a glass of water. Now the sentence becomes correct, which is not the case with said. Even if I say I said to get a glass of water, it is correct because it is an intransitive verb. I hope the concept is clear now. Moving ahead, let us just understand the next concept, which is the subject-verb agreement. So what do you mean by subject-verb agreement? This is a very important concept. So the verb that you are placing in a sentence, it should agree with the number of the subject, which means if the subject is singular, the verb also needs to be singular, and if the subject is plural, the verb also needs to be plural. Clear? Just a very simple example. Ram are playing. Here the subject is Ram. Ram is singular or plural? Ram is singular. And we have used are with Ram. Are is used for a plural subject. So that is why the sentence here, it becomes grammatically incorrect. So in order to frame a correct sentence, we will say Ram is playing. So this is just a very basic concept that you need to keep in mind, that with a singular subject, you need to place a singular verb, and with a plural subject, you need to place a plural verb. Okay? And to simplify it further, I would also like to tell you the verbs that are used with the singular subject and the plural subject. So if you have singular subject like he, she, it or one name, what you're supposed to do? You are supposed to put s or es with the verb form. What it means, I'll just explain it. So for example, if I say he play, now he play is wrong. Why is it wrong? Because he is a singular subject, and as per this, what we need to do, this is the verb here, we need to place s or es with the verb. So here it will be he plays. Understood? Similarly, we are supposed to use is, was, has with the singular subject. Now let us just look at an example which is related to plural subject. So if it is they play, now this is absolutely correct, because what we have written here, that with plural subject there need not be s or es with the verb. See, I have put a cross mark here. So you do not have to use s or es with a verb in case of plural subject. So this is absolutely correct. Similarly, Ram and Shyam dance or dances? It is dance. Sita eats or eat? It is eats. Okay, so I hope that you might have got an understanding of this topic. We'll be continuing it in subsequent classes, and I'll see you soon. So stay tuned and take care of yourselves.